Good morning, traders. This is Perry Wilkie with StartupTrading.com. It's about 11 minutes till 9 a.m. Eastern Time on Monday, March 24th. Can you believe it's spring? Good things are looking up. The market's up. Things are popping. No, I'm just kidding. The title of my video is Post OPEX Slow News Week. Let's look at the news flow. We're going to have Flash Manufacturing and Services PMI at 9:45. And then really nothing. We're going to have Bostic's going to give an interview at 1:45 on Bloomberg TV, and then at 10 after 3, uh, Barr is going to be just out there. It's the audience questions that are expected. By 10 after 3, 4 o'clock, you shouldn't be day trading anyways. To be honest with you. If you want to look back at your P&L, you shouldn't be in any trades at that point in time, anyways, unless you're just trying to let a runner run. You should not be taking any new positions by then. Looking at the rest of this week, uh, we've got final GDP on Thursday, and that's about the biggest news, along with core PCE price index at Friday at 8:30. So those are your two-star red events, I guess you would say. Uh, we have worked off our oversold conditions, right, between uh, last Thursday, Friday, and overnight tonight. Uh, and then, so a lot of times, and maybe I'll just bring up positioning right now. Uh, you do, uh, and we'll kind of go back between these sets here. Looking back at Friday, right, we were between 473 and 482 on the Qs, right? That's where we were at on Friday. And if we look at the Qs right now, you can see for positioning, there's for the week all the way up to 490 is, not going to be that big of a deal to get up to. We're trading 488 as I speak right now, though. So 490 is going to be your support resistance zone. I'm sure it'll get tested or very close to being tested, probably even today, to be honest with you. You're looking at about 80 NQ points higher than we're at right now. That would put you up almost 400 points for the session from last Friday's close, or settlement, if you will. And then if we look back at the SPY was trading uh, basically between 558 up to 567, really. And if you look at where it's trading right now, it's trading 571. Uh, is where we're at right now. And if we, flop on over to the SPY, you can see there's really not any huge markers for the week. You got 580 out there, and you got 525 to the downside. It would take basically an act of God to get us down there at this point in time. Uh, and if you're invoking His name and trading, you got bigger issues. So then as we look at really, where we're at again, you have to imagine that 575 is going to be a bogey, right? So again, we're trading 571 right now, so we're already above that. So you can look at the 571 as a potential 570 as a potential break point, and then my guess is we'll see action between 570 and 575 yet this session. You're looking at another 40 ES handles higher. That would put us up about 100 for the session, 107 or so. And if we look at the cash market closed. Let's before we do that, let's see where we were at last week. On Friday, we were at between 5,600 and 5,675 is where we were. Uh, with futures up around 65 points right now, that would put us around 5730 is where we would be if we opened right now. And you can just see that, 5700 to 5700. 5700 to 5750 would be your spots that we're in, and with the 5725 as a little bit of a marker. But to be honest with you, we could just hang, hold, and trade between that 50-point range the majority of the session, if we don't, just keep slow grinding up higher today. So if we look at what that did to structure for Friday, there was some single prints basically left on the Dow, and that was really it. We still had the same splits that we've been looking at for a couple sessions, uh, and then going back to where we are on the ES, we're above this 57.75.50 right now. Again, this is looking at the continuous contract. This looks a little different than it really is because of rollover. We really have had like a um, 10, 11 day balance down here. And now that we're above 57.75, that'll be the interesting thing that to see, after the initial balance, after like 10:30 this morning, are we really holding above 57.75? Or are we, kind of retracing back down to 56.72? I don't think that we can get down to that point of control today unless, we really have that huge on a 30-minute chart, you have that huge expansion bar down. It holds the halfway back short, and then you just keep getting drifting lower with the VIX rising. That's really what you'd have to see to be able to get back down there this session. I would expect more of a hang and hold. There was a lot of people, and looking at the specific contracts on the March 2025 contracts, the M5s, M25s, if you will, you can see clearly now how this looks much different than the continuous contract. And again, we are basically above the high of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 sessions now. So all these people that were short thinking the world's just going to, negative 1,000 on the SPY, they're going to be hurting this morning. And to be honest with you, we should be able to get a retracement sometime this week that gets up close to 58.75 is where I would expect, where you start getting a little bit of nuance trading from 57.75 up to right around 59.50. That's going to be your bogey, and we'll have to see how positioning sets up heading into the rest of the week. Looking at the Nasdaq, the NQ in the same way, we're above 20,200. That's really your first bogey, and I would say down to 20,094. So that 100 points basically between 20,100 and 20,200. That should be your support because you've got 11 days of bears down there thinking, what the hell, right? So that's just the way it goes. 49 and a points in the overnight session so far because um, we have gapped up, right? Even though we're up 67, the range so far for the session's only been 49 points. Um, and again, looking at structure and where we could go pretty easily, to be honest with you, um, there's really nothing stopping profile wise other than some positioning. And I don't know if positioning is going to really be able to step in today when our major news isn't till, and it's not even major news, it's Thursday and Friday this week. There isn't diddly squat going on all week that's scheduled, anyways. 20,600 basically to 20,780 is the band that we should want to see for the NQ. You should want to trade between 21.10 basically up to 21.32 for the Russell. And then you have a decision to make. Do you want to go in the auction that's above that, or do you want to go back down to the lower auction? And these are decision points. And my guess is, you know, maybe tomorrow we start filling in some of this stuff. I don't know if we really can get up there today, but it is on the table because of 11 days of base below us for people that were just caught wrong that are short, right? That's every rally starts off as a short squeeze, and then when we're post OPEX, right, we get that post OPEX drift heading up. So you're looking at, again, for the ES between 58.75 and 5900. For the Dow, you're looking up at 43,250 to 43,500. And I did say on Friday that if you want to start putting some 3-year money to work, last Friday's afternoon session was going to be the spot to start dabbling in for between 20 and 30% of your free cash, looking at that you're not going to touch for 3 years. Um, we'll just have to see again. The ES could still make a lower low than it did last week before this cycle is completed, but the odds are that the Nasdaq will not take out last week's low before this cycle, you know, goes higher. Um, so keep that in mind. I hope this helps. You guys have a great day. We'll see what Jack's looking at. He'll probably start a little later, and then I'll talk to you tomorrow.